Hey guys, this is part two. Part one is talking about the three cool things about essential oils. This is going to be talking about three ways on how we can use them. Part two. So, really simple. First way to use essential oils is aromatically. So, everyone take their fingers, or you probably not watching with the group, but take your fingers and pinch right above the bridge of your nose. So right under your fingers is your olfactory nerve, right? So you can take off your fingers because you look silly. This nerve sends messages to the limbic system in your brain, which in turn sends messages all over the body. So sometimes people think it's hokey to say oils could affect the body just by smelling them, but of course I have a story. When you go to the hospital for surgery and you need to be put under, how do they deliver anesthesia? They don't give you a pill, and they usually don't give you a shot. They ask you to breathe through a mask and count down to 10. And most of us are completely under before we even get to 10. So when you breathe those synthetic compounds through the mask, your olfactory system is powerful enough to send signals to your body to knock you out in under 10 seconds. So it's the fastest way to access the brain. This happens exactly the same way with natural compounds found in essential oils. Natural compounds. When we breathe those natural compounds from essential oils, they hit our olfactory nerve, and the olfactory nerve sends signals to the limbic system, which in turn sends signals to the rest of our body. And this can happen in as little as 30 seconds. So there's a few ways to use essential oils aromatically. You can breathe them from your hands, you can use them in a diffuser, or you can breathe them right from the bottle. So wild orange, you probably have wild orange. What I want you to just do is open it up, put a drop in your hand, and you don't even have to put a drop like I normally just tip it over. Rub your hands together and breathe in. How does that feel? It's amazing, right? So not only does it smell really good, but wild orange has these natural compounds that help with stress and depression. I automatically feel less tense and uplifted. So I take wild orange with me everywhere I go, whether I want to put it in my water, whether I just need to breathe it in, because what I love about it is it's uplifting, but it helps calm, which I think is amazing. So in the wild orange, there are natural compounds that help with stress. It helps with depression, and it helps with calming people down. So that one's fantastic. The second way to use essential oils is topically. So you can actually apply oils directly to the skin. So for children and people with sensitive skin, you're going to want to dilute them with fractionated coconut oil. It's just as effective. It just takes a little longer to absorb. So basically, it's not as tingly. That could be bothersome for children or people with sensitive skin. You can apply these to the bottoms of your feet, including babies, and it won't bother them. The pores on the bottom of your feet are really big, and the oil absorbs very quickly into the bloodstream. So that's a great way to get oils into your system really fast. So some health concerns that would be best to use topically are burns. I know when I burnt myself, I used lavender, and that just helped calm. Bug bites is another good one that I use topically. Lavender and peppermint is what I use for those. And even acne. I put a few drops of Melaleuca or tea tree oil in my moisturizer, and I feel like that just really helps moisturize my skin, obviously, but keep the acne spots back and those blemishes. So then the third way to use essential oils is internally. So these essential oils are not only safe to use internally, they are recommended. So remember when I was talking about CPTG in the first part one of this series? CPTG certified pure therapeutic grade, means that these oils are medicinal grade. And so they are completely safe to ingest, unlike most other brands. You can actually see on most of the oils, and this is how you double check, if you can put it inside your body, if you can swallow it, there will be a supplemental fact on the bottle. If there's no supplemental fact, then it's one that is not recommended, and actually you should not internalize. Some of those would be our blends. Most of our blends that we have, like if you've heard of Deep Blue or Aroma Touch, those are ones that you would not internalize. But most of them, as long as they have that supplemental fact, you can internalize them. So you can actually put a drop under your tongue. So I actually have Melissa right next to me. So Melissa is great one for a health support of the healthy immune system, calming tension. So all you really have to do, and this kind of does take practice, also to know like which oils come really fast out the bottle and then which oils are a little bit slower. But if you're in a calmer environment, I normally put like the ridge on my teeth and then just tip it. And that part underneath your tongue is actually quite sensitive, so you should be able to feel a drop. I like doing this with Melissa. Melissa is fantastic to do this with, but also frankincense. Frankincense is our king of oils, and that is fantastic to use internally. Calming. I took a little too much Melissa there. So, a drink of water. So, most of these oils are great to use internally. I actually make my own concoction when I'm not feeling well of frankincense, lemon, oregano, On Guard, which is a blend. So that's a blend that you can internalize, and Melaleuca or tea tree oil. And I put it in a veggie capsule, swallow it. And if I'm feeling a little icky, I'll do that 3 times a day for a couple days, and things clear up. So that's amazing. So health concerns that would be best to use internally is stomach upset, allergies because it's systemic, and colds and flus. So right at the beginning of myself using essential oils, I would get these really swollen glands on the sides of my neck, and it would drive me insane. It would be painful. My energy was so low. I was actually taking like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So bad. But it would be a real struggle for a good week. And I couldn't take a week off work each time this happened, because it probably would have happened 6 times a year. And more often when I was teaching, it would happen during that EOG prep time when I was teaching. So it was so annoying. And I started using essential oils and created that little concoction of frankincense, lemon, On Guard, oregano, and tea tree oil, Melaleuca, we call it Flume. Melaleuca, or tea tree oil was called Melaleuca for a long time with doTERRA. So I would use these, and because they're all good for bacteria and cell rejuvenating and permeating that cell to stop the duplication of those viruses, and it would knock it out in 2 days. 2 days. So now I've gotten to the point where I've noticed some of the symptoms coming. I start it right away, and I do the protocol for a week or a couple days, and I don't feel miserable for a week anymore. My go-to is basically I start it, I wait until symptoms stop, and then I just continue it for 24 to 48 hours after. Kind of like antibiotics, but not really, but just to make sure that everything is out before I stop. So those were the 3 ways to use essential oils. My part 2. Go to part 3 to figure out how we can get them oils in your home. Okay, I'll see you there.